Hi, I'm Becca, and I work at the Bethany branch of the Cedar Mill and Bethany Community Libraries, and this is 3 on a Theme. This week's theme is libraries and librarians. Libraries are pretty awesome. They promote literacy and provide books and knowledge, among other things, to everyone, and they are definitely an important part of any community. Clearly, I love libraries, otherwise, I would not choose to work at one. And honestly, my dream home is basically the library from Beauty and the Beast. And you must love libraries too, otherwise, you wouldn't be here today. So, without further ado, first book this week is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. One day, Zachary Ezra Rollins discovers an old, rare book that contains a story from his own childhood in it. He is naturally a little bit confused and a little bit weirded out, and so he immediately sets out to find out more about this book. His investigation and the clues that he finds eventually lead him to a vast underground library that is full of winding hallways lined with books, tons of cats, secret rooms, hidden passageways, and even huge abandoned cities and a sea made out of honey. While he's there, he discovers more stories about forbidden love and also a mystery that is centuries in the making. This book is absolutely beautiful, and it is easily one of the best books that I read last year. And the descriptions of the library itself are so lush, and it made me desperately want to go there, and pretty sad that it doesn't actually exist in real life. And I'm certain I'm not the only person who feels that way. And really, this book is for anybody who wants nothing more than to hole up in a tiny, quiet, private place, sitting in a cozy chair, reading, possibly cuddling with a cat, and definitely drinking some tea. If that's you, absolutely read this book. The next book this week is The Giver of Stars by Jojo Moyes. It's 1937, and Alice Van Cleve has just left her stifling life in England to move to rural Kentucky with her handsome American husband. Unfortunately, once they're there, she realizes that marriage is not what she expected it to be, especially since she and her husband Bennett live with her overbearing father-in-law who never seems to leave them alone. Not long after that, her tiny town opens up a new library as part of Eleanor Roosevelt's traveling library program. She quickly volunteers to participate, and she and 4 other women deliver books by horse to people throughout the county. One of these women is Marjorie, who is strong and independent and does not let any man tell her what to do. The pack horse librarians of Kentucky are a real part of our history, and I think a part of our history that is less well known. And so this is a really interesting look at that. It's also about life for women during this era, being told what they can and can't do by men all the time, being told how smart they are by men all the time, and then also the confines of marriage for these women. But it's also about a look at rural life during the Depression and the vast difference between the haves and the have-nots. So this book is really great. I highly recommend it. The last book this week is The Library Book by Susan Orlean. At first glance, this book is about the 1986 fire that destroyed most of the Los Angeles Public Library and the investigation that followed. But really, it's about so much more than that. It's about the history of the Los Angeles Public Library, and it's also about how that library system currently works today. Susan Orlean spent a lot of time doing her research. She visited not only the Los Angeles Public Library, but a lot of the branches in the rest of the city. And she spent a lot of time talking with current and old staff members about their jobs, finding out how the library system works, what the patrons there are like, and everything that goes into being a library employee and making sure that things happen. So this book was especially interesting as a library employee. It was great to kind of get an outsider's look at how library systems work. And if you've ever wanted to know more about the background scenes of the libraries, this book is definitely something you should read. Okay, well, that's it for this week. These books and more can be found in a list on our main website, wccls.bibliocommons.com, under the account Bethany_Library. Bye!